Welcome back, and today we are going to be taking a quick look at the Christmas sales, and if you are looking to buy anything, feel free to use my link down below. You won't get an additional 3% off on top of the sales, but you will get this decal as well as you will support the channel. The new decal is with Guardian. I signed all the contracts, but they haven't made it in time. When I will add it, I'm not entirely sure about yet, because adding it on a random Friday in January doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we'll have to see. I'm not entirely sure when it's done. It is in the works. Unfortunately, we didn't make it in time. Let's take a quick look at all these planes. First up, we have America, and unfortunately the F-18, F-20, or even the F-5C are not on sale, so we'll have to make do with the A-10, the F-4S, as well as the AV-8B. Now we also have the Mustang D20, but this is not even going to be in contention because it's a rank 4 and it's one of the worst 4.3s that you can play other than top speed. Should you buy the AV-8B, the A-10 or the F-4S? I would say personally, probably not. The issue here is that you are going to be stuck in rank 7, and America is definitely one of those nations that will probably get a rank 9 first, same as with Russia. And personally, I say that these are much better grinders anyway. Now, if you really want a rank 7, my choice would be between the F-4S and the F-5C. The A-10 and the AV-8B, in my opinion, at least in RRB, are a complete waste. The F-4S is more for learning missile combat, as you don't really have to play the plane. It's all about the radar and the missiles. The flight performance is not really there. If you are more familiar with top tier, it might be okay, but keep in mind that the skill ceiling is about as high as the skill floor. There's not much you can do as a player to make this thing better, but it is a good introduction for just learning your missile systems and your radar systems and all that good stuff. If you want to know more, I have a video on all these topics if you do want to watch them. Then we have the F-5C, which is more of a dogfighter. It isn't the best when it comes to everything. It doesn't have the best missiles, it doesn't have the best guns, and it isn't very fast. However, it is a great introduction to jet combat if you are coming from low tier jets, perhaps from 7.0, 8.0, or you're more familiar with props. It's a great introduction. The issue is it is not on sale, and for now, personally, if the F-4S doesn't sound good to you, I just skip it. The F-20 went on sale in November, and the F-18C early will probably go on sale together with the F-20 in the next sale. So personally, for America, I would say just wait it out for now, which I know is a big disappointment to a lot of you. Then we have the F-18C Hornet for the German tech tree, and I think this is a no-brainer. It skips everything. It's rank 8, and you are able to reach this rank 9 if it does get added. Next to that, the only real other premium that's worth it in the German line is going to be the MiG-21 Leisure M, the G91R4 if you are looking for tank RB, and then you have to go all the way down to the D13. So for Germany, there isn't many premiums that I would recommend. The F-18C early is definitely one of them. It's not the early, it's the F-18C. This is a great pickup. It is a little bit overpriced normally for 35 bucks with everything that you are getting with it. I do think that it's a fair deal. And it's the same thing for the F2A ADTW. Japan has a few more worthwhile premiums, but it's again going to be all the way down in rank 5 or even rank 4. The F2A ADTW is pretty good, has one of the best flight performances in the lobby, even if you get fully up-tiered. The missile loadout is pretty respectable. It's not the best, but it does have IRCCM AAM-3s, and it has AIM-7M Sparrows. The AIM-7Ms aren't the best, but everything other than that is pretty damn good on this plane. Together with the fact that grinding top tier with the Japanese is a little bit rough. It's a bit better now that we have the Alpha Jets and the F5A and the F5T. But other than that, it's still a pretty rough grind. And this is one of those premiums that lets you just skip all the terrible garbage in this line and just grind your way all the way up to rank 9 if they do add it for Japan as well. Then next up is the Saab JA37DI Vigan F21. And again, it's kind of in the same boat. The Saab J35XS is pretty damn good. If you did buy it in the last sales, I would say skip this one, you don't really need it. I do think that this is the better plane to play, but we are again looking at a tech tree that is pretty rough to get through. Rank 5, 6 and 7 and the first little bit of rank 8 are all pretty rough. If you are completely empty on the Swedish line and you need something, this is a pretty okay grinder because you have 4 Fox 3s, you have the RB99s, which are essentially just AIM 120As. And they're pretty okay. The plane is pretty mid because the flight performance just isn't really there. If you are familiar with the F4F ICE in the German tech tree, it's very much comparable to that one right there. The energy retention of this thing is horrendous. The fuel burn is horrendous. And overall, the flight performance just leaves a lot to be desired. And the only real thing you have going for it are the RB99s. Is it worth it though? I think it's good to circumvent the entire grind, but I would recommend the Saab J35 XS over it, and then you can talisman either a Gripen or an F-16A, or perhaps even the F-18s. Not the best here at 14.0, but it's more manageable than grinding all the way down without anything, because there's only 2 planes here that I would recommend you to get, and one of them isn't on sale anymore, so if you really can't wait, sure it's good as a grinder, but the plane itself leaves a lot to be desired. Then next up, we are going to have the MiG-29 Sniper. Now this is actually a bit better. The thing with Italy is that again, we have nothing. This isn't available. This is absolutely horrendous. The Ariete is good. The issue is that from there, you need to talisman either the MiG-21 MF or the Bissau, up to you. And then you can grind all the way down to the ASAT Typhoon or perhaps the Gripen if you want that. Or God forbid you want the Tornado. The Sniper, it's good, but I don't think it's as necessary as with the other trees, because there is a good way to circumvent the grind here and be a lot cheaper off. But R27 ERs are basically the only thing that's really good for this thing. The R60 MKs are a little bit mediocre. The flight performance, while okay, is a bit on the bottom end, and at 12.7 you are going to be running into a lot of Fox 3 planes that will just kind of outclass you, because yes, the R27ER has better kinematics as say a Fox 3 AIM-120, however you need to maintain lock and the radar isn't fantastic. It's not like with the Su-30 SM2 where you can just go into the north and keep tracking. This thing you will have to defend, and the second you start defending, if you don't relock them quick enough, your missile is dead in the water, and those 2 missiles are basically the main thing you have going for you. Is it a good plane? Sure, it's a pretty decent grinder, but if you have bought the Ariete, I would say just talisman the MiG-21 BIS, the MiG-21 MF, and grind your way down that way. The matchmaker is just going to be a lot more forgiving, and that would be my recommendation. Then we have the NF5A for the French tech tree, and this is honestly one of the best planes that you can buy. Now I don't have it anymore, but I can show you. I have actually played it because my decal isn't on it anymore, but you can see. Well, that's embarrassing, isn't it? I did have the decal. Where is it? There you go. I have played it. I played it a decent amount. It is incredibly good. Think of an F5C, except you get AIM-9Ns, which are essentially AIM-9J equivalents, and you get a lot better engines. And we are talking about 30% thrust. This thing is an absolute menace compared to the F5C, which I was already recommending in the American tech tree. And then on top of all of this, the French grind is not the best. Well, I guess the Seahawk is okay for grinding, but then we still have rank 6, where it is kind of mid, and then we still have rank 7, where there are a few planes that are okay, but you have to get to them first. I think that the NF5A is one of those planes that's a good introduction to jet combat, and it's just very good overall, and it has a pretty high skill ceiling, and it gives you a lot of room to grow and get better at jet. So I would say that this is one of my top 3 picks for the entire sale overall, regardless of what nation it would be in. Then next up, we have the J7D. J7D is honestly also one of those planes that's really good. Now, unfortunately, we do have the Su-30 MKK. Is this thing on sale? No, it won't be up until 3 patches from now. And I'm not sure if China gets rank 9, and I do think it will. But the J7D on its own is a very good plane. We are looking at a plane that will beat the MiG-21 BIS in a 1v1 at a lower battle rating. Yes, the BIS has better flight performance for Air RB, But this right here is probably one of the best MiG-21s that you can play. And you can either rock PL7s or PL5Bs. Neither of these are a bad choice. You can mix them up. You can do whatever you want with it. So when we look at the missiles here, we can PL7 or PL5. It goes for all the racks. So you can completely customize it however you want. This is one of the better planes now. It used to be absolutely abhorrent. Now it's pretty good. I wouldn't wait for the JH-7A prototype sale. I would wait for the Su-30 if you want a Fox 3 Slinger. But if you want to stay clear of that battle rating, I just get the J7D. And then you can talisman one of the rank 8s whenever you need to. Because you will get another 3,000 Golden Eagles, I believe. Or 2,500 Golden Eagles with it whenever you buy it. Then next up is the Su-39. I'm not even going to look at it. I wouldn't recommend this upon my worst enemy. It's not very good. It's completely over-tiered. At least for RRB. We are looking at a 11.3 plane that is as fast as a Sabre. It's honestly incredibly mid. The loadout, however, is pretty respectable. We are looking at R73s, Vickers, 16 of them, as well as 2 R60Ms. But if you have remembered how I made the video on this thing, I just took live commentary because I just started playing games until I finally got a single good match and I uploaded it. This thing for RRB, absolutely no go. For Tanker B, it's probably a bit better if you want a ground pound, but I still wouldn't really recommend it necessarily. Then next up, we go to the Mustang D20. Absolutely not. Then we have the Wyvern, which is incredibly good still. However, there is a little bit of a caveat to it now. We are looking at a 4.7 plane. And it has gotten a decent bit heavier. So it's not as agile. It loses even more speed. And the acceleration is worse than it used to be. But it still goes 650 kilometers an hour on the deck at 4.7, which is faster than some of the 6.3s and lower. So yes, it's incredibly fast. Yes, it still has 1200 rounds of Hispanos, which just got buffed with the gun buff. But it's not as good as it used to be. Is it a good grinder? Absolutely. If you only care about props, this is a no-brainer pickup. However, it's not as good as it used to be. Now we have the AV8B in case you skipped forward. Just skip it. It's not worth your money unless you play ground RB. And I'm not even sure if it's actually that good over there. Then lastly, we have the MiG-21 Bison. Now the MiG-21 Bison is a little bit of a difficult one. Because it is a good grinder. It is rank 8. But personally, I would wait for the CF-188A. Doesn't mean that this thing isn't good, however, but if you can wait, I would say wait. If you really want something right now, you won't make a mistake with the Bison. You have an HMD, you have R73, and you have R27s, Rs and Ts. And the flight performance, unfortunately, is that of a BIS. And if you remember properly, then you know that the MiG-21 BIS is 11.0. So we are looking at a battle rating increase that makes it so that you can't even see the same plane in the full down tier. So the flight performance is not very good and the radar isn't the best, but the missiles are good and you have 4 of them, and that is going to be the main way you are going to be getting kills. It's also rank 8, it's more future proof, and again, the only real premium that you will buy in this line is either going to be the Mark 8 Reaper or the the Harrier DR1, which are rank 5 and 6 respectively. And that's basically the sales. Yeah, I'm kind of stuttering, I'm sorry. I'm not entirely sure why half the planes are absent again. It's the same with the tanks. If you are looking to buy the tanks, probably someone in the comments that will be able to help you out. I'm going to be celebrating Christmas with my family, so I'm going to be logging off. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to use my link down below to support the channel. Merry Christmas, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.